The first light of dawn streaked across the horizon, painting the coastal cliffs in gold and amber. Mist rose from the rivers below, curling around jagged rocks and drifting across the dense canopy of the forest. High above, the air was alive with motion, the distant calls of pterosaurs, the flapping of wings, and the wind singing over cliff edges. Among them, Aerois cut through the currents with effortless grace, his wings spanning like sails of shadow and light. He tilted his long beak toward the rising sun, nostrils flaring as he drank in the scent of salt, fresh water, and the faint metallic temps of distant prey. Flight was his life, his dominion. The currents beneath his wings were both challenge and ally, carrying him across valleys, rivers, and cliffs in a dance as old as the world itself. Every instinct was alive, every beat of his wings, every twist of his talons, every sharp glance downward attuned to survival. Below, the forest and river teemed with life. Herds of herbivores grazed, unaware of the shadow above, while predators stalked in the underbrush. Aerois' sharp eyes could catch even the slightest tremor of movement, the quiver of a branch, the ripple of water signaling a potential meal or threat. He descended smoothly, riding a gust along the cliffs, wings cutting through the dawn light. A disturbance caught his attention. A rival pteranodon gliding along the ridge, wings outstretched, skull crest gleaming in the sun. Territorial disputes were frequent here. The cliffs were prime nesting ground, rich in fish from the river below and thermal currents for flight. Aerois flexed his wings, muscles tensing. His rival circled, calling, a sharp cry echoing across the cliffs. With a beat of power, Aerois soared higher, then dived, swooping toward the challenger in a display of dominance. They twisted and banged through the air, wings slicing the currents, talons flashing. The sky was a battlefield, sunlight glinting off their crests and wings. For a time, they danced in deadly harmony, testing each other's endurance and skill. Aerois pressed forward, then banked, letting a gust lift him over the ridge. His rival hesitated, recognizing the mastery in his flight. With a final, decisive circle, the challenger retreated, leaving Aerois to claim the skies. The wind shifted, carrying the scent of a storm brewing offshore. Clouds rolled in, dark and restless, and the ocean waves crashed against the cliffs with rising intensity. Aerois adjusted his wings, riding the turbulence, dipping and rising with precision. The storm was a test, a force of nature he had to master. He dived toward the rivers below, lifting fish from the water with sharp talons, then ascended again, rain pattering against his wings. Survival was relentless, and Aerois thrived unchallenged. Hours passed, the storm easing, leaving the cliffs gleaming with wet stone and glistening feathers. He guided younger pterosaurs through the air currents, showing them hunting techniques, teaching mastery of flight and the art of navigating predator-infested skies. The bond between them was unspoken but vital, teaching and learning, guiding and protecting. Then, from the distant cliffs, a shadow emerged, a massive predator, a raptor-like theropod scaling the rocks with lethal intent. Aerois banked sharply, talons gripping a ledge, wings flaring as he rose, drawing the predator's attention skyward. The chase unfolded across cliffs and valleys, water and forest below a dizzying backdrop. Aerois' instincts guided him, every dive and climb calculated, his mastery of air currents keeping him just out of reach. Eventually, the predator relented, and Aerois returned to his perch, triumphant but wary. As the sun set, the ocean ablaze with gold and crimson, Aerois glided above the cliffs, talons tucked, wings steady. He surveyed his territory, rivers winding like silver threads, forests stretching endlessly, and the horizon spilling into sky. He was a sovereign, a guardian of these cliffs and waters, a creature of grace, strength, and freedom. Night fell, stars emerging, reflected in the rivers below. Aerois perched on the highest cliff, crest glowing faintly under moonlight. The young pterosaurs nestled near, eyes wide with awe and trust. The world was vast and perilous, but he had endured, mastered, and protected. Flight was not only survival, it was life, beauty, and legacy. And as the wind whispered across the cliffs, carrying the scents of sea, forest, and rain, Aerois spread his wings once more, lifting into the night sky. The currents carried him upward, higher and higher, until the cliffs and forests were a tapestry below. He was eternal in motion, a symbol of freedom, majesty, and resilience. The stars shone bright, the ocean roared below, and the world watched in quiet awe as Aerois the Pteranodon ruled the skies. a living testament to the power, beauty, and endurance of prehistoric life.